It's real hooligan stuff, isn't it? It's the sort of music that you'd wash your football boots to or something like that. Dixie's Midnight Runners and Show Me. The kind of music that crew on AM PM would... oh, no, I can't say that. You work on that, don't you now? You're sort of co-producing the programme. Sorry.
You use the term lightly.
Yeah, now or later.
That's right, yes, after coming off the breakfast show, delving about in the early hours like a worm first thing in the morning. Yes, I'm producing AM PM at, having fun.
But I must say one thing, you've lost that sort of Bela Lugosi look about you.
Yeah, what have I got instead?
I wouldn't dare tell you.
Let's see if we can find our radio satellite in the form of our radio van. Had a bit of problem actually this morning when don't we? We were hoping to go first of all to the Saxon Motor Inn in Blackburn to meet a bunch of characters who started off at 7 o'clock this morning from Haslingden, pushing a 4-poster bed all the way to Blackpool to find out what on earth they're doing that for. We missed them at the Saxon, and very shortly our radio van will be tramping up Preston New Road, trying to overtake them, dramatically kidnap them with our famous highwayman, Pat Gibson. But first, we're joining our intrepid reporter, Pat, out at the radio van this morning at Bold Venture Park in Darwin. Hello, Pat.
Thanks, Nigel. I'm down here on my first port of call this week on the Saturday, and I'm at Bold Venture Park in Darwin. The thumping in the background you can hear is a roughly 150 pounds weight. The reason for it, some lads in Darwin, some weightlifters, are trying to break a world record, which apparently they did this morning at 7:20, while most of us were still fast asleep in our beds, me included. Jack Ainsworth, along with his lads, beat the world record of 2,650,000 pounds weightlifting in 24 hours. Is that right?
Yeah, we beat it. We did it in 11 hours.
11 hours. Now, why are you still carrying on, Jack?
Well, we were trying to do it so we were going to make it pretty hard for anybody else to beat it, you see. Like, we're trying to get around about 4.5 million before 8 o'clock tonight, you know. So, last time we did it, we left it, we only did it for 8 hours, and we beat the record, but we left it pretty open for somebody to beat it, and they've beaten it twice.
Yeah. Is it very competitive, this? I mean, you know,
Well, it's getting more and more now. With like, I can give you an example. I got a letter off Guinness Book of Records a month since, and they told me that the record had just been broken again by a team from Wiltshire, and the record was the amount that you mentioned, 2,650,000.
Right, now you've gone past that record.
Yeah.
You're hoping to carry on until when?
8 o'clock tonight, and we're hoping to have about between 4 and 4.5 million pounds.
Right, now that's going to be a hard record to beat. How can you prove that you have actually beaten the record?
We can prove it by the fact that every minute that we've spent lifting, we've had referees who are British Amateur Weightlifting Association referees who've come from Blackpool, 2 of them through the night alternately, watching every lift, making sure that every lift is done correctly. So, and the proof is the fact also that there's a chart with every lift marked down on the chart, that's got to be sent to the Guinness Book of Records after it's all been
and they'll accept that, will they?
Yeah.
Tell me, at 3 o'clock this morning, how were you and the lads feeling? Did you ever feel like you were going to give up? Because, I mean, obviously Bold Venture Park at 3 o'clock in the morning, when all the people have gone home and it's very quiet,
well,
you've just got the policemen patrolling around. It must be
funny enough, we had a few ladies still around watching, actually, to be quite honest, and it helped to pass the night through. A joke or two here and there, and believe me, they stayed till 7 o'clock this morning.
Did they?
Yeah.
What about breaks? I mean, are you allowed to take a rest during all this, or have you got to keep going?
Since 8 o'clock last night, we've had a quarter of an hour's break. And that was from when we broke the record at 7:20, we had a quarter of an hour from 7:20 to 8:25.
Do you think after tonight, when you finish at 8 o'clock, you in fact will, hold the record indefinitely, or do you think somebody else will try and break it?
I think somebody else will try and break it, but I think they're going to find it pretty hard to break this time.
All right, Jack, well, I'll let you get back to your weightlifting, but best of luck. You don't look too bad, you look still quite fit.
Yeah, well, it's just the hands that are taking the punishment now, 2 or 3 of the lads, they're they've got blisters and segs all torn on their hands now, you know, but they're carrying on.
Well, I'll let you carry on weightlifting. I don't think I'll try it. Okay, thanks very much, Jack. Very quickly, let's have a quick word with Jim Moore, who's one of the officials down here at today's do. Good morning, Jim. How's it going, this weightlifting?
The weightlifting's going great. We've had many people watching the weightlifters, and of course we've got the carnival procession this afternoon, starting from Walpamer at 1 o'clock, up the main road to the show site at Bullventure. When it arrives at Bullventure, then the carnival will be in full swing. As you see, there's a hive of activity here. There's roundabout, side shows, competitions, five-a-side, tower race, angling competitions, everything for the family.
In other words, Darwin and Darwinites should have a good afternoon here.
Well, it's been organised by Darwiners this time for the Darwiners, and I hope they'll support us in this effort.
How much are you hoping to raise?
Well, we can't tell that until it's all over with. It's the first time it's been run by the Darwin Gala Committee, and we're hoping to raise an approximate £1,000 after expenses.
For local charity?
For all the income is going to local charities. We'll probably keep a little bit back for next year's show.
Right. Now, what about the weather? It's overcast here at the moment. I felt a little bit of rain in the atmosphere coming up the hill here to the park. Are you worried about the weather?
No, it's going to be a fine day. You can see now it's clearing up great. Looking over the hills there, you can see the hills are top of Bowl, and it's very clear. It's going to take up. It's going to be very warm and a great day for the show.
Right, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Jim. Let's hope it is a good afternoon for you. And again, if anybody wants to come along, the procession starts at 1, and the activities are down here at the park all this afternoon.
All this afternoon, yes, and there's everything for everybody. All the families welcome. Get here.
Right, that's the good word from Jim, and with that, back to you in the studio.
Many thanks indeed. Pat over there at Bold Adventure Park in Darwin, getting a dumbbell wrapped round his neck. I got visions of him lying on the ground with a dumbbell across his neck, not being able to get up. Anyway, thanks for that report, Pat. Let's hope it's going to be good weather too for Darwin Gala this afternoon. Got a police message regarding the gala. Police in Darwin say there'll be considerable delays for motorists today because of the Darwin Gala. There'll also be strict parking restrictions operating during the gala. You're advised to avoid the area unless your journey is absolutely necessary. Talking of traffic information, there's also expected to be problems at Lostock Hall and Fulwood in Preston and Adlington near Chorley. Most of those carnivals take place in the early afternoon. And our Pat, on the way now, along with Steve Carter in our radio van, trying to overtake a four-poster bed, yes, on Preston New Road, on its way towards Preston. That'll be a laugh, won't it?
Won't it just? I got the distinct impression that those sounds that you could hear in the background, folks, were people smashing to bits our beloved little radio van, which may never leave there again. You can never tell. We've got Ray Conniff and the Singers with Hallelujah coming up in a moment, and it's being dedicated to Carol Rigby, first of all, of 19 Jubilee Avenue in Preesall. Hope that you enjoy your 21st birthday party tonight, Carol, so congratulations to you as well. Lots of love from Mum and Dad, Elaine and Sandra, and it's also to Howard Gardner, again, of Jubilee Avenue in Preesall. Hope that you also enjoy the party tonight from Mr. and Mrs. Rigby. And then we can also include Vera Hayes of 46 Warwick Avenue in Claytonley Moors. It's rather belated birthday greetings to you, Vera. Your birthday actually was yesterday, and that comes with love from Stephen. Here we go then, Hallelujah from Ray Conniff, the orchestra and singers. Ray Conniff, the orchestra and singers, and a number called Hallelujah. And I suppose after 3.5 hours of working with me, Nigel Dyson will be singing that song all the way home.
I'm up to Goldgate, actually, at the end of the show today, Phil.
Yes.
Yes, going to the Goldgate Gaslight Show and presenting prizes for the largest marrow.
Really?
And it won't be me. 19 minutes past 10. We'll have our helplines coming up very shortly. We hope to be talking to David Jones of Blackburn Harriers and James Jardine over in Plungington in Preston. We'll be talking to those two gentlemen on our helplines after our next burst of music. I've got a query here phoned in by Mrs. Leonard, who lives in Kirkham. Mrs. Leonard has her baby granddaughter coming to stay for 4 days. She wonders if anyone who lives locally could lend her a cot. Mrs. Leonard has a baby granddaughter coming visiting for 4 days. She wonders if anyone who lives locally could lend her a cot. Mrs. Leonard on Kirkham, 685-481. Kirkham, 685-481.
We've had a call from a lady who wishes to remain anonymous, and we respect that. The thing is that she's found a bunch of keys that were found at the the top of Hodder Street yesterday afternoon. Now, she does inform us that they've been handed into the Accrington police station. A bunch of keys found at the top of Hodder Street yesterday afternoon. They've been handed in at the Accrington police station. If you want further details, either call in there at the Ackie police station or give them a ring.
We've got a bundle of what's-ons to read out this morning. We haven't done any so far, so let's make amends right away. 10:15 to 12 noon today, a mini-market at the Leah Methodist Church, Birkdale Drive, the Savick Estate in Preston. There'll be lots of stalls, homemade jams, preserve, cakes, biscuits and houseplants, etc. A mini-market, 10:15, it's already started, to 12 noon at the Leah Methodist Church, Birkdale Drive, Savick Estate in Preston.
There's the show this morning, starting at 10:30 through until 12 noon, and then again this afternoon between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And that's taking place at the Royal Grammar School for Girls on Chatburn Road in Clitheroe. There are some new classes this year, you may like to know, including photography, bobbin lace and fresh vegetables, along with many other items as well. So if you want to go along there, either this morning, you've got between 10:30 and 12 noon, so about 9 minutes before that show starts. And then again this afternoon between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. The show at the Royal Grammar School for Girls, Chatburn Road in Clitheroe.
Here's the thing, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock this afternoon, an open day at Accrington Fire Station. Guess where it's being held? Accrington Fire Station, Manchester Road in Accrington, and it's organised by the station in aid of the Fire Station Services National Benevolent Fund. Now then, the public will have access to the firefighting equipment and emergency equipment. There'll be demonstrations, raffles, a souvenir stall, music and refreshments too. And what's more, my friends, it's absolutely free. It'll cost you note.
Bookshee, as we say. It's like BBC Radio, isn't it, when you think about it?
Don't start that one again.
By the way, folks, if you're thinking of going down that, what is often referred to as a greasy pole, let me assure you it is not a greasy pole at fire stations, it's a shiny pole, but there is no grease. What are you doing over there, you fool? He's throwing his coffee away and... oh, dear.
Sorry about that, he just sort of slipped.
You can't take him anywhere, this lad, these days. There's the Donkey Derby between 12 noon and 5 o'clock at the Hawks House Farm off Massey Street in Briarfield, and that's 10 pence, actually, but children will be admitted absolutely free.
Yes, delving about amidst the liquid down here. The 23rd Annual Summer Show at the Lowther Pavilion in St Anne's, taking place today and tomorrow. Today, 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's at the Lowther Pavilion in St Anne's. It's organised by the Lytham St Anne's and District Horticultural Society. Various classes on show, flowers and roses, begonias and pot plants, floral art, the Ikebana International, and a bee exhibition on the lawns. Adults 30 pence, children and OAPs 15 pence.
Now, there's the Adlington and District Carnival. That's from 12:30 onwards, and also tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's taking place at the Carnival Field in Adlington. The star attraction will be Barbara Windsor, and also there'll be a ride by Lady Godiva, who we spoke to last week on the programme. You may or may not remember that. The admission charge by programme is 35 pence.
If you're a devotee of the old bowling tournaments, 1:30 today, Regent Park in Morecambe, an open pairs bowls tournament. All the woods will be being carefully polished this morning, Phil. 1:30 this afternoon, that tournament, Regent Park in Morecambe.
And then the International Year of the Disabled Persons exhibition, that's during museum hours at the Blackburn Museum and Art Gallery. Now, it starts today, but it runs until the 26th of next month. So plenty of time for you to get along there. As I say, during normal museum hours, the Blackburn Museum and Art Gallery, starting today, but running through until the 26th of September.
24 minutes past 10, more What's On's a little later on in this morning's It's Saturday, and the helpline's coming up right after this.
She took a job as a hat check girl at Greenhouse.